Hello friends, welcome you all for my YouTube channel MUC Smart Learning. Today's subject is computer application in business. I am remembering you to please subscribe our channel and don't forget to click the bell icon to get further notification. Now move on to the subject computer application in business. What that means? Computer application is nothing but in a business how computer and internet used. What are the purpose of computer and internet in a business sector? They called as a computer application in business. Now move on to the next slide. E-commerce. E-commerce is nothing but electronic commerce. The another name may called internet commerce. The name itself explanatory. It is the meeting of buyers and sellers on the internet. This involves the transaction of goods and services, the transfer of fund and the exchange of data. E-commerce is nothing but buyers and seller meet together with the help of internet and computer for their business transaction. Buyers go through the seller's website, order the goods and services. Sellers get the orders from the buyers. They send quotations and all those things, payment orders and receive payments. Everything in the electronic mode may called as a e-commerce. Here the types of e-commerce models. The another may called as a classification of e-commerce. B2B, nothing but business to business. One business person contact with the another business person with their business dealing purpose. For example, one business person need of raw material, they contact for that purpose to the another business person for giving a raw material order. They may call as a B2B concept. Then another one is B2C, that is business to customer. Business peoples make an advertisement and giving education about the production of new product, innovation of new product, launching of new product and inform to the customers. Such may called as a business to customers. Customer to customer, that is a C2C. One customer contact with the another customer about product and services available in the market. Here the another concept also is there, that is customer purchasing goods and services and afterward it resale to the another person, another customer, also may called as a C2C. Then fourth one is C2B, nothing but customer to business. Customer to business means nothing but in a customer's website they may giving a tender notice. Based upon that, business persons giving their tender notice to the customers at a least price basis. So such type of concept may called as a C2B. Customer approaching to the business person approaching to the customer, that is B2C and C2B concept. And now the last one, business to government. Business to government means nothing but the business people need to follow the rules and regulation and certain governmentary documents the business person have to be maintained. For example, license has to be get, or renewals of license and all those things. So for that they need to contact meet with the government peoples. So nowadays the government websites created where that the business peoples can simply go to the government website and they can fill the application and paid online, and they may get the e license itself. So like that they may do the business transaction that may called as a B2G. This is the types and classification of e-commerce. Here, advantages of e-commerce. The first one is worldwide reach. If you do electronic commerce, you may get one of the benefit is you may get worldwide customer, that is a global customer. So here is a one of the main advantages. For example, in a traditional commerce, if you start a business in a particular area, means on that area people only the customer, or maybe extent of the another area. But if you start electronic commercing, you may get the global customer. So that's the one of the merits. And see the second one, lower the cost, transaction cost. Lower the transaction cost means here there is no intermediaries at all in the e-commerce. The business people directly meet with the customer. So on the term there is no middlemen at all, that is brokers, agents, retailers, wholesalers, a very little bit as they, but it may reduce the cost. Because if the wholesaler are there means they fixing their profit, and agent they fixing their profit, so automatically the cost will increase. So it may reduces the transactional cost. Then third one is quick delivery of goods and services. Quick delivery means because there is no intermediaries at all, so you simply contact with the business person, and business person directly contact with the customer, means there is no gap between at all. They simply getting the order on time and they simply delivering the goods on time. So quicker delivery of goods and services. The next, save time, energy and effort. So the customer need not to go or to market purchase goods and services. In the home itself, in an office itself, the customer can order the goods. It saves time, energy and efforts. Then a customer can shop 24/7. That means there is no holiday at all. In a day of 24 hours, in a week of 7 days, and as the same in a year of 365 days, the business is goes on. So e-commerce manner, you can simply do their buyings and sellings throughout the year without any leaves. So one of the advantages. And last one, without any intermediaries. I already said to you here, directly contact with the buyers and sellers. There is no intermediaries for increasing of their charges, so it leads to increase the product price. So it is another advantages. Now limitational side of e-commerce. So here startup cost of the e-commerce portals are very high, because if you install any software into your system based upon your business activity, it's a huge cost. Software company charging a huge cost for your business activities, so you have to invest a lot of amount. And the next one, training of employees. To handle all those softwares, you need of trained employee. In a traditional business, there is no such type of training at all, but for here you need be a educated employee, and as the same you have to be provide a training, because in a software always you need a updated one based upon the computer version and all those things. You have to be update your software, means On the term, the new features added, the employee must to know everything that is a updated one. So you have to provide a training. The training cost also be the another burden to the business. Then last one, high risk of failure, because e-commerce startup itself a huge cost, and as I say, maintenance cost also be exist on it. And for that you have to be approach a global customer, means it's a difficult one for the each and every business to do e-manner. So it's a more risk of failure. Then another concept is EDI, nothing but electronic data interchange. So is may be defined as the interchange of electronic data between computer system through standard interface. It is simply the sending of files and data electronically. So here EDI is nothing but a business software where the business people shares their secret information, secured information in a prescribed layout format. So here you need of certain things. So we later on go through the another slide. So here a process of EDI where that you can simply understand the how the EDI software work. So here one side is the sending company, that is a one business. Another side is the receiving company, that is a another business person. So here both the person need of computer, both the person need of installed EDI software, both the person need of internet, and both the person need of unique structure of concept. So then only you can do the EDI processing. So here one person sending the information through their computer with the help of EDI software, it goes through the internet and reach to the receiving person. Receiving person also have the internet, that is a internet facility in the system along with the EDI software, where that only they can see the sender's information, because it's a unique structured format layout. With that only you can do the EDI processing. Here the next very important one, what are the benefits of EDI, what are the importance of EDI? We the business people has to be adopt this EDI concept, because it saves time and energy. Everything's are preloaded and pre-structured by both the parties. So whenever you go through the any transaction, it automatically creates the files. Like for example, if you ordering any goods from a particular company, means whenever you go throwing the particular company's folder, means it automatically generate that order copy. So just what you have to do, simply quantity you have to be changed, and date also in a software itself updated. So save time and energy, one of the benefit of EDI. The next, accuracy and elimination of manual errors. So I already said to you, in a software itself they update certain things, and as the same calculation. So I said that the quantity only you have to be added, and the rupees and all those things already mentioned on it. So on the term they himself calculating all those things. So here reduce the manual errors, that is a clerical errors, it may reduce this. The last one, security and simplicity, because EDI is a secured one, because it's a unique format created between the parties. So no other party can see such type of information between they exchanging it. For example, A sending certain information to B, means the A's information only can see the B. C cannot see the A's information, because it's a highly secured protocol one. And as you say, simple, because it's a pre-loaded one. Whenever you entered on that particular folder means the automatically generated information will you may see. So it's a simplest one. Now a very important topic, a smart card. So at present everywhere every peoples have a smart card. What is a smart card? Is a special type of card, like a device which contain an integrated circuit chip embedded on it. It's a IC, that's a integrated chip. Circuit chips can be a microprocessor with memory or just a simple memory circuit. Here smart card is nothing but, you can say, you have the ATM card. On that ATM card you may have the chip, that is a IC chip, integrated circuit chip, where that your all business information, banking information stored, transactional information stored, personal information stored on it. So that's they may called as a smart card. It's a exemplary. The many other cards also is there. A smart card is nothing but a plastic card where that you may have a certain information uploaded on a particular chip manner. That's a type of smart card. You may have a various type. There is a magnetic strip card. A magnetic strip card has a strip of magnetic tape material attached to its surface. That is a optical card. Optical card used some form of laser to read and write to the card. And then third one is memory card, and then fourth one is microprocessor card. In a magnetic strip card, nothing but, if you see in a floppy disk you may have a magnetic strip card. And as the same, the many other things are there. For example, if you go through the shopping malls, they may giving a certain magnetic strip card where that the company's information given, the customers information given, transactions information given, so where that you can do the further dealing with that. So such may called as a magnetic strip card. Optical card. Optical card is nothing but a plastic card where that you may have a certain laser written things. You cannot see a certain information, but it's a written one. For reading that information you need to be a laser reader, then only you can read such information on that. So such type of may called as a optical card. The another one is a memory card. So everyone knows that in a mobile phone we are using it. So like that, the same it you may get the in many other forms. Then last one, microprocessor card. It's nothing but a ATM card and other cards may called as a microprocessor card. Then the most important application of smart cards are credit card, electronic cash card, computer security system, wireless communication system, banking card, satellite card, government identification card. So like for example, government identification means you may have a Aadhaar card, so where that a certain informations are hidden on it, because certain government information like for example banking information, personal information, everything are recorded on a governmental identification card. Satellite card is nothing but certain communication network, there is a broadband companies giving a certain card where that you have to be recharge it, and as the same you can use for your television purpose. So like that you can use it. And other banking card means nothing but a debit card, credit card, so such type of things. And wireless communication, the many other things are, you know that. So well, here thank you for watching patiently our lecture. So we will see the next video. Thank you very much.